Maritime Made on Eastlink is presented by Nova Scotia Business Inc., working with companies across Nova Scotia to be more successful exporters every step of the way.
Nova Soapia on Cape Breton Island makes far from average soap. Their natural handcrafted cold process bars are art and reflect the island.
Well, I started the business in 2000, just at the end of 2018, and then 2019 was, I was just starting out and getting into the farmers markets and testing out where I can sell the products. And I came from a lot of event experience overseas, and I thought, well, maybe I should just create my own markets, which ended up being a lot of collaborations with lots of other small businesses around here. And we started going to lots of nice locations around the island, and that was where it first started. And then I ended up getting a website within the same year. And then well, at the end of 2019, we ended up, lots of things changed. So, markets slowed down, and we had to come up with some new techniques. So we had to really just push the online world at that point.
The Cape Breton Bubble soap is being made, abstractly showcasing the island's tartan colors. Rectangular strips of freezer paper are torn off a homemade roll dispenser. These are used to line 5 loaf boxes or molds. Smaller pieces are cut for their sides and ends. They're secured with thumbtacks. The shiny surface must face out, so the slip releases the soap. Distilled water is weighed in a plastic bowl. Distilled water is used to prevent the lye from reacting with anything in the water when it's added. Windows are open, as lye must be used in a well-ventilated area, and a mask and goggles must be worn. The lye is poured into the water and is stirred in with a rubber spatula. An eruption of caustic steam occurs. The chemical reaction pushes the temperature to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. It will gradually cool down to 120 degrees or less. Next, stearic acid is measured into a bowl. It's poured into a large stainless steel pot placed on low heat on the stove. Solid oils will be added and melted together, but first, this needs to become completely clear. Organic coconut oil is measured out. A knife is used to break it up. Raw shea butter from Ghana is weighed. Now that the stearic acid is translucent, these solid oils are added. Liquid oils are measured next: olive oil, sunflower seed oil, and extra virgin castor oil. As the lye's temperature decreases and solid oils are whisked together, the liquid oils are added next. At this stage, a temperature check is done. While temperatures are adjusting, colors are made. 4 stainless steel bowls are placed on the table. Gray Canadian glacial clay and local sea tree organic charcoal that's created at Cape Breton University are measured out. French yellow clay is strained. Yellow oxide is added and is sifted to clear clumps. Green clay is sifted in a larger portion to the biggest bowl, followed by green oxide. A little bit of the oil is distributed to each color and it's stirred in. Nova Soapia's specialty soaps are made in silicone containers, which have intricate designs on their faces. These are set next to the loaf boxes. The temperature of the oil and lye are checked, and both are 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The oil is brought to the work table, where the lye water is added, and the mixture is stirred with a whisk. Once the oils and water are fully mixed, it's emulsified. The mixture is added to each color, and they are whisked individually and scraped with a spatula, working from light shades to dark. A house blend of patchouli and peppermint essential oils are measured and added. This recipe uses 9 liters of oil. Here, the goal is creating a light trace using a stick blender in each bowl, so it's just fluid enough to form soap before it continues thickening.
I kind of thought I was going to be just sticking with soap from the get-go, being Nova Soapia, but I'm now looking at, you know, broadening my products and adding some lip balms and candles and deodorants, and so we'll start expanding. It seems to be now when people are going online, you want to have a bigger variety of products, right, to offer. And I'm ready to go. I've been making all these things forever. So now it's a matter of just turning them into products and getting some packaging and branding them and letting people know that there's more available.
Now it's ready to pour into the molds. Colors get added to the loaves one by one using a drop swirl technique. Each color is used to line or divide another. Little flicks with a spatula create color on top, and chopsticks add swirl and clean up the edges. These must sit for an hour. Small squeeze tubes are filled with each color. These are used to paint in the art of the silicone molds. Once the images are created, these are finished the same way as the loaf molds. After an hour, texture is added to the loaf soaps using a spoon. These are covered with plexiglass for 24 hours to reduce lye from reacting with air. A box is applied on top for weight. The silicone soaps were placed in the freezer for a day and are now ready to be unmolded. The soap in the loaves is taken out too. After another 24 hours, they can be cut into individual bars with the soap cutter. The cutter uses guitar strings to slice out individual bars. The strings are cleaned between slices. Their tension is adjusted by pitch. One day later, all of these soaps are ready to be beveled. A boning knife removes any sharp edges. These scraps will be used in other soaps. 75 full-size and 40 to 50 smaller tartan-inspired soaps have been made. The bars will be left to cure for 4 to 6 weeks before being ready for packing and shipping.
When I started Nova Soapia, I was like, well, it wasn't called Nova Soapia. I was just making soap. So I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to turn it into a company, it needs to be a brand. And I want it to be fun. I don't want to just sell a product. I want to sell some sort of fun. If you can buy a product and smile, we're all good. So I didn't really know what to call it, but I went out to the World Wide Web of friends and Facebook world and said, what should I call the company? And funny enough, a German guy, friend of mine, said, well, you're a Nova Soapian. And I'm like, tick, there we go. Nova Soapia it is. My users are Nova Soapians.